Personal jurisdiction. Let's make it real easy. They overcomplicate it in law school. Just ask yourself one question. Did the defendant target, solicit, advertise, negotiate, or do any act in the state? If so, the defendant is subject to personal jurisdiction in that state. That's what's known as specific jurisdiction. Now, people get confused with general jurisdiction. Here's what you need to know. General jurisdiction is dead. It is essentially one of the traditional bases because for corporations, it's where they're domiciled, they have the principal place of business. And for an individual, it's the same thing where they're domiciled. So really, there is no more general jurisdiction after all the Supreme Court cases in the last 15 years. However, the Supreme Court just left the door open a little bit. I mean, just a little bit. Let me give you the case from 1948 where a businessman, I think from the Philippines or Taiwan, he came to the America. He planned to go back, but the war was starting, and he was going to leave just for the war. So he went to Ohio and opened up his business. Spent 8 years in Ohio from an office in Ohio, running his business there, with every intent to go back to the Philippines or Taiwan or wherever country it was after the war was over. So he wasn't domiciled there because he had the intent to return. Well, he ended up getting sued. And in that situation, in that one lone situation where I said the court left the door open just like that for general jurisdiction, the court said he was essentially at home there. They didn't use that exact language back in 1948, but you get the gist. And that's all you need to know about personal jurisdiction. Ask yourself one question. Did the defendant target, solicit, advertise, negotiate, or do any act in the state? If so, they're subject to personal jurisdiction. That's all you need to know.